Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Furkhan Danida and I'm a therapist. And today I'm going to talk about the DEI issue that's coming to the forefront. And not only is it complex, but it has become a bit of a problem. And I'm also going to reflect on an essay I wrote a few months ago on my Substack. But a lot of this stuff was something I started noticing 12 years ago when I was participating in recruitment activities for my employer, and I would go to my alma mater, and something odd started to come to the surface, and this is where I was noticing a pattern. As we went on this recruitment activities, HR gave us strict metrics to achieve so that we could continue recruitment activities at this university or college. These metrics were reviewed and often scrutinized, but what were these metrics? So we had to achieve a certain minimum number of women and Indigenous students that had to be interviewed and then through the interview process converted to employees. I questioned the approach immediately because my belief at the time was hiring the best person for the job, and that hasn't changed. It's something I've told myself when I've fallen short, reminding myself that maybe I didn't deserve the opportunity if I wasn't successful. However, others that I was talking to did not have the same sentiment, and my difference in opinion and values stuck with me and eventually led me out of the organization a few years ago. Now, as the years have progressed, I've understood this initiative or action taking place, and it has gained more prominence under DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, I'm not against any form of diversity, equity, and inclusivity. Many people I've spoken to in this field have great ideas and the right intentions. I also appreciate the diversity in opinions and ideas people bring based on the differences in their worldviews, perspectives, experiences, personality traits, and temperament, just to name a few qualities. I also understand we need to start somewhere to influence change. But like anything, when do things go too far? And are we there yet? My concern is that when the focus shifts to achieving numbers, we lose sight of the bigger picture by having tunnel vision. So trying to fit things into a box and forcing outcomes, we unfortunately compromise the natural course of action. And normally when we're following the natural course of action, that's when creativity also comes forth. But by forcing it, we're losing that creativity. The constant debate that I've seen is equal opportunity versus equal outcome. And depending on which side of the debate one falls on, people have differing opinions. The two get confused, unfortunately, as well. Equal opportunity aims to achieve a similar starting point and access to education, resources, and employment opportunities. However, many critics argue that creating a level playing field is impossible. So on the other hand, equality of outcome ensures that everyone ends up with the same results, irrespective of effort, ability, or circumstance, and that ultimately voids merit. So equality of outcome seeks to reduce the disparities between individuals in wealth, education, and other measures of success. While this approach may seem noble, it comes at the cost of merit, and then the focus shifts from the individual's effort to the aspects of their life that potentially limit them. Now, there are also examples where equality of outcome has provided positive benefits, especially in the Scandinavian countries such as Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. However, when you get into the data analysis side of things, the sample size is small, and one can argue that the situation is somewhat controlled in Scandinavian countries compared to other places with more diversity and continuous population growth, although that's also changing. In my conversations with people that live in those countries, they are seeing a huge influx of people as well. So one example is the higher graduation rates in Finland, which means everyone has access to the same quality of education. Sweden has also observed improved life expectancy due to access to universal healthcare systems. Denmark and Norway have reduced income inequality and improved poverty rates. These countries have also reduced gender inequality in pay and leadership positions. But again, like I said, given the small sample size, the risks remain where there are reduced incentives around innovation and individual effort, which impacts merit and personal freedom and eventually stifles economic growth. And that is a theme we are continuing to see in many parts of the world. Now, another ideology that comes into play is the work of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels concerning the criticism of capitalism. While Marx and Engels focused on economics, many scholars in this work have referenced the Communist Manifesto as having religious connotations. So as a result of their focus on the select few being privileged, we have seen this spill into society at large and the emphasis on equality of outcome. Consequences of Marx's work, which Lenin, Stalin, and Mao subsequently took on, was a utopian socialist endeavor. However, much has been talked about what would happen if we lived in a complete utopia. Writers such as Dostoevsky postulated that humans would choose misery and live in self-pity rather than being handed everything on a platter. Plato's Republic also explored the idea of a utopian state. And then John Cahoon also ran the Universe 25 experiments on mice. And he found that despite living in a utopia, the mice eventually fell into chaos, unable to form social bonds and engage in complex social behavior. You could see a lot of these parallels happening in the world today as well. Why do I share all this? Because, like I said, that's where it seems to be headed, at least where things are right now. Many people have become entitled, preventing hard work, resilience, and persistence. We see many aspects of what Dostoevsky predicted concerning the utopian state, that is, people living in misery and nihilism despite focus on metrics and hitting specific numbers, which has come at the cost of meritocracy, leading to unintended consequences and the chaos we see in society today. So we're seeing a demise of the social fabric that continues to become concerning, and the promotion of people into positions where they are not set up for success. And then this issue is more significant than all of us. However, we all have a role and we can influence. We must return to what allowed our species to evolve through merit, hard work, and innovation, giving us meaning and purpose. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please share, please subscribe. But this was just an exploration on my end on this whole issue with metrics coming at the forefront rather than our focus on merit.